So we're at the old house. This is a 10 by 12 by 17 foot tall playhouse. The skid steer there is going to be strapped to it, and he's going to slowly back up while we lay some plywood behind it, getting it all strapped to it right now, and then they're going to slowly inch back towards the gate. Playhouse is about 10 foot wide. The gate is about 10 foot 6 inches, and it's on a hill, so we have to jack up one side to get it through. Tremendous effort here. Great engineering by Katie's uncles. I'm just pretty much standing back and watching. So now we're through it.
Whew. Okay, so we got it out. It is on the road. Next big step is to tip it over onto a trailer, which will then be hauled out to the land. It's gonna get crazy, but that was a very difficult thing we just did. So,
okay, so now we have it on the street. It's spun around 90 degrees, and we're going to be using a skid steer to tip it over, and then a telehandler to kind of, it's strapped to the telehandler, and it's going to kind of control its descent back down onto the trailer to kind of prevent any damage. And that's all Katie's uncles, and so I'm just kind of lending a helping hand wherever they say. Put this here, stack this there, wedge this in another place, and kind of letting them lead.
Strap around the top and coordinating the tipping of it. Two of Katie's uncles and her cousin doing this.
Katie's cousin in the foreground is giving directions to his uncles at when to tip it. Now we see the slow descent. This is time lapse. It's pretty slow in real time onto the trailer. It's going to be pushed up a little further when we're done, but that's pretty much how it went. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to be strapping this thing down and going down the road. So this next part was the most intense part of the trip, moving it down the road. So my job here is to drive behind his truck and keep traffic back. So I try to, with my flashers on, just kind of go down the road. You can see that we're doing a lot of close misses on some power lines. And then we do bumps on them. I have to slowly drive under them and let them kind of rub over the top of the playhouse and get them off. We hit a lot of tree branches, and by the end of the trip, there's a bunch of tree branches up there on top. One thing that needs to be clarified is they're not actually power lines we're hitting. There's a tree we just hit. These are cable lines, there's some telephone lines, so there's no risk of electrocution. And if we do it right, we aren't going to really break any or over the legal limits, so this is technically allowed, but you can see Katie's uncles are really careful. They're going to stop every once in a while. There's another tree we just hit. Stop every once in a while and push the power lines over the top. So impressive as it is. You can see him swerving all over the road. In all reality, he's just dodging trees, and he's going about 15 miles an hour. So we stopped traffic all the way out there, about 6 miles. But boy, oh boy, was this a tough part of the journey.
Getting close, but it's still just, it's stressful. And I'm not even driving, I'm just behind him, with trying to keep traffic back. So playhouse is getting close. Here we go, past another one. Woo, this is
on our new road that we're going to be moving to, and we're about ready to pull into the neighbor's driveway that we're buying the land from. Here we go, down his driveway. And then we're going to get it into place here, kind of figure out where it needs to be. So this is where it ends up. You see just the telehandler being used here to tip it back over, kind of lifting it up, and we wedging that bottom in place so it doesn't slide. And he's just going to kind of pull it into place. And at the end of the day, very little was damaged on this thing. A couple pieces of siding, and that's about it. So thankful for their help.